That man loves me so much. And, you know, look what we built. We've built a beautiful life, and we have 2 healthy, beautiful children. If you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome.
It's so fake.
This can't be real.
Oh, he's such a great partner.
It sucks. Are you joking?
It's
This
bad.
is terrible.
You suck. You suck.
I feel that.
What? Stop.
All of it is fake.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I don't like it. Just talking nonsense. It's stupid.
Right, I feel that every day in how supportive he's been. He's also a fox.
You're ugly.
It's weird, right?
I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking idiot.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
No.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, they insist that you go along with their nonsense and their insanity and their fragility.
His heart is even more beautiful.
Oh, but his heart is even more beautiful. This is so forced.
I know that I'm a great friend, and I know the kind of mom I am.
I'm searching for something to like about her, and it's so hard.
They're ridiculous.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim.
The beginning of that clip where she's like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
It's so inauthentic.
And it's unacceptable. And it's just got to stop.
I knew her a bit. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
Also a fox. If you haven't noticed, my husband's very, very handsome.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was in her early 20s.
Wow.
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
Reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these 2.
No! No! I refuse! I'm sick of it! No, I don't want them. No, I don't want them. It's just, they are so ridiculed all over the place. Meghan Markle. That's the big distraction.
That's the big distraction right there.
There's a war room, apparently, in England where they're trying to figure out what to do. Oh.
Meghan just wanting her privacy, but not being able to find it with Netflix cameras in her face, which is weird. Because I'm usually, when I want my privacy, that's what I do. I hire a team, a videographer, and I sign an $88 million deal with Netflix and a $25 million deal with Spotify. And I feel sad for them. I do. I feel sad. I don't know why they're not able to get their privacy. And she is a victim. I believe it. I have been programmed to believe it.
Brat, to be honest, and very, very entitled.
Full disclosure, I do think Harry's a wanker, but
well, he seems to be. You know what's going on. Someone wanted a lot of attention, and now they got it. She used to be on Deal or No
infiltrated?
Deal. She was one of the Deal
Is that
or No Deal ladies.
the way it works? Is he
I
infiltrated
think so.
or was she infiltrated?
Well, it depends on who's getting pegged.
Yeah.
It depends on the methods. She was on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with the briefcases.
She didn't like being objectified on Deal. Did you think it was an executive position, ma'am?
Yeah.
You're one of the hot ladies holding up a suitcase.
Are you in love now more than ever?
Are you in love? How happy and beautiful is your husband? He's so beautiful. Do you love? Take me out back and shoot me, okay? Just end my agony now.
Family doesn't like her, the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her.
I don't like her.
There's nothing I like about her, but I just can't stand her. I just think she's such a phony.
My authentic self is me to live my life really authentically, make choices authentically. Being able to be so authentically myself.
I've never seen this sort of before. I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us one strip of authenticity.
Have you been hanging out with Meghan and Harry since
No.
they've been in California?
No.
What do you think of them?
They're ridiculous.
And why none of them want to talk to you or trust you as far as they can throw you?
This, we're just gonna put into a different bag.
What is the #1 question that mystifies scientists?
Is there life on another planet?
Oh no, why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags?
Meghan Markle, and she is a manipulative person.
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's
Ooh,
lured him into the rocks.
Well, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
She said it with a trembling voice and dabbed her eyes for dramatic effect. But the camera didn't lie. There were no tears, no real emotion. just another performance.
And she also is pretending like she's crying. We zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight. Dan, look at this. I invite the viewers to take a close-up look at this. Where's the tear?
Meghan Markle's latest podcast appearance wasn't supposed to cause controversy. It was pitched as heartfelt, raw, and healing. Instead, it turned into a social media circus, and not for the reasons she expected.
I just think she's crying for sympathy, playing the victim.
From 6:30 in the morning on drop-off mornings for me, I'm not home till 9.
Boring. Sounds like a normal day to me, Meghan. Waking up at 6:30 is not that intense. The rest of the world is waking up at that time.
It's too much for me. There's only small doses of that podcast I can consume.
Writing the newsletters and writing the social media captions and making sure that all that feels in line. The photography that we want to do, what do I want to wear for those shoots?
The work ethic must just be grueling. Writing social media captions, deciding what she's going to wear.
I've got to pack school lunches, then I might drive them to school, then I might manage my meetings after that.
Brush my teeth, get both of them up, I get them dressed, get them downstairs, make breakfast.
Talking about it as if she was about to sink underwater from the pressure. I just don't believe it. It's a normal daily routine. There's nothing to be a victim about here. And there's also no sympathy to be granted for this lifestyle.
Because when Meghan tried to show vulnerability, the world saw something else. A woman so deeply rehearsed, even her breakdown felt like a brand.
And then the wife convinces you to leave the royal family. Like, I'm out. I don't need you guys. Which is crazy, because don't you just get free money?
Oh, we want our privacy and safety, but we'll go be at Beyonce concerts and do whatever we want. Oh, look at him.
She wants all of the privileges that go along with an identity, but she doesn't want any of the responsibility. She doesn't want to do any of the work. She wants the tiara. She doesn't want the public service.
It all began with her appearance on Jamie Kern-Lama's podcast. On paper, it was a chance to peel back the curtain, to connect with listeners, to be real.
Very private letter that Harry wrote about Meghan that they're going to share on this podcast.
So happy for my wife, fully support absolutely everything she's done and continues to do.
That's sweet.
That's sweet. How are you, Meghan? How are you?
You know, Meghan, how are you?
If I'm Meghan, I'm like, your voice is driving me crazy and I'm about to jump over there and put my fists down your throat.
His heart is even more beautiful.
Oh, but his heart is even more beautiful. This is so forced.
That would have been sweet if it hadn't felt so painfully staged.
And Meghan's just accepting all these compliments. I know I'm great, aren't I?
And it seems like that lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
Oh my gosh, look at all these photos about last night. ... Thank you, Beyonce and team, for an amazing concert and a very fun date night. All love. Girl, she didn't invite you to the concert.
And then came the crying, or rather, the attempt. Meghan's voice cracked. Her eyes welled, or at least pretended to. But the audience wasn't convinced. Viewers zoomed in, analyzed frame by frame, not a single tear, just the performance of crying. For someone preaching raw honesty, it felt more like rehearsed vulnerability on cue.
Oh my God, that hat. Oh God, he's so hot. Look at him. Isn't Prince Harry? She bagged a fox. But look how nice is she. Pulling away from her lovely prince. It's so good. Who's filming this?
She's trying to sell herself as this wholesome mother who's baking cookies and making tea, but we all know that that's not the truth.
That would have been bad enough. But the internet has a long memory. A resurfaced clip showed Meghan bragging, years earlier, that she could cry on command. 1 tear, left eye, 3 seconds, she'd said. And now? She was being roasted for giving the world a live demonstration.
Where she says 1 tap, left eye, and she can make herself cry on demand.
It's crazy. You're like, Meghan, 1 tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds.
What?
But it didn't stop there. Body language expert Scott Rouse stepped in, and what he saw raised even more eyebrows. The stiff shoulders, the fake smile, the way her gestures didn't quite match her words. According to Rouse, these weren't the signs of someone speaking from the heart. These were signs of someone selling a story.
Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. I am. I'm better than okay. How are you?
That smile's a little bit over the top. And that single shoulder shrug she has, that usually indicates that person isn't very confident with their answer or their statement.
I couldn't tell anyone who I was dating, and he was keeping. So I think we were just on a letter basis.
Yeah.
This is fake. She knows exactly when that happened. The eye search she's got going on there, that's forced and faked, as is the facial expression.
Suddenly, Meghan's attempt at raw honesty looked more like a PR stunt gone sideways. And then came the signature. In a split-second podcast cutaway, viewers noticed a card, part of a gift basket Meghan had apparently put together. Cute, until you looked at the bottom. The card was signed, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. One problem. She's explicitly not allowed to use that title.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. A title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US.
With the compliments of HRH, which is Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Meghan Markle is now accused of breaking the agreement with the late Queen after podcast revelation.
Per the agreement with the late Queen, Meghan and Harry were restricted from publicly using their royal titles after stepping back. It was a soft consequence with a clear message. No more playing royal while living in Montecito. So when that signature flashed across the screen, it wasn't just a slip. It was seen as a breach. Critics pounced. Was it arrogance? Was it a flex? Or was Meghan simply clinging to an identity she refuses to let go?
Now, to top it all off, she is literally using HRH in private, which is just even weirder. That is just like all the confirmation that I need that this woman is just obsessed with being a royal, that is all this was all about.
I think if somebody gives you a gift, you can say, so-and-so, my friend so-and-so gave me a present.
Yeah.
I don't feel like she needed to show that.
You made homemade strawberry jam. It's kind of like a doctor when you keep referring to them as doctor and like, call me Susan. Like I would never refer to myself as Her Royal Highness.
Take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking in public.
Even some longtime supporters admitted it was cringe. The backlash was swift, and it wasn't just tabloid noise. A public poll made headlines. Majority of respondents said King Charles should officially strip Meghan and Harry of their royal titles. That's not mild disapproval, that's a national rejection. And behind palace doors, rumors swirled that Prince William had already made up his mind. When he becomes king, insiders say, he plans to cut ties completely.
How are Prince William and his wife Kate Middleton responding?
They're done. They're done. William doesn't even want to hear Harry's name anymore. He's just kind of like, don't bring him up. We're good.
She decided she didn't want to be a real princess because to be a real princess involves duty and responsibility, caring about other people. And so she just wanted to be a pretend princess in Hollywood. So she split her husband off from his royal family and then inked a $1 zillion deal with a bunch of media companies, and then all her projects flopped.
To him, Meghan and Harry's actions weren't rebellious. They were betrayal. And if protecting the crown means burning a bridge, so be it. But instead of laying low, Meghan doubled down with yet another rebrand. Her lifestyle venture, once called American Riviera Orchard, quietly reemerged as ever. And right away, the internet noticed something off. The logo, nearly identical to the official coat of arms from a Spanish town named Morca, the mayor wasn't amused. Accusations of design theft hit headlines. Meghan's team brushed it off, but the resemblance was undeniable.
This relaunch has now descended into a farce, it would seem, because officials in the Spanish town of Mallorca have accused the Duchess of Sussex of copying its traditional coat of arms for the logo of her newly rebranded
Well, it's pretty close, isn't it?
luxury brand. It does look very, very close.
Then came the weirdest twist. All her products, jams, salts, syrups, sold out in 30 minutes. Except, people noticed they were barely stocked to begin with. A few jars, a few samples, manufactured scarcity.
When I was reviewing her website in real time, doing my video, it said coming soon. But then, like 5 minutes later, we see that she put sold out.
Critics didn't call it smart marketing, they called it a gimmick. And just when it seemed the rebrand drama couldn't get worse, it did. A woman in Maryland came forward threatening a $10 million lawsuit. Her claim? That Meghan's bath salt recipe, one featured on Netflix, left her with catastrophic burns. She was diabetic. The ingredients, including Himalayan salt and arnica, allegedly triggered ulcers and severe reactions.
Now, more troubles for poor Meghan. She's been threatened with a $10 million lawsuit after a woman suffered catastrophic burns, allegedly from the Duchess's do-it-yourself bath salt recipe. This is a recipe that Kinsey featured on her Netflix show. What else can you tell me about this?
Well, I could tell you I spoke to 2 attorneys about this. Both said this potential.
A Meghan Markle fan has claimed the Duchess's homemade bath salt recipe left her with catastrophic burns and threatened to launch a £7 million lawsuit. Robin has said she is willing to resolve the matter without legal action if a financial settlement is reached.
Now, Meghan wasn't just dealing with bad PR. She was facing legal fire. And you have to wonder, how does a homemade bath recipe end up as a lawsuit headline on Netflix? And still, the podcast kept giving. Meghan revealed that every night before bed, she writes emails to her children. Secret email addresses, hidden identities, letters to be read years from now. Sweet, in theory, but to the internet, another branding move.
So I'd created for the kids these email addresses that sort of like names, again, that you would never guess, that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older. But before I go to bed almost every night.
Meghan, my God, you get praise every day, getting attention every day. You gotta praise yourself on Mother's Day? Really? It's all branding. Did you notice it? It's all branding to make herself look more relatable and motherly.
And then came the clip from South Park, a parody of the Sussexes begging for privacy while going on talk shows and selling books. The satire wasn't subtle, but it was brutally accurate, because Meghan doesn't want to do the work. She wants the tiara, not the public service. The perks, not the pressure. The narrative, not the responsibility. And the cracks are starting to show.
She was a real hard-nosed LA girl. Yeah. Now she's like this, oh, I'm soft, I'm mummy, I'm this.
Clearly went over to get herself a prince to give her access to this lifestyle that she would have never had access to.
The nearest thing Meghan Markle ever had to a billion-dollar idea was marrying a prince.
Meghan Markle, the only thing she found was a rich, famous husband.
The woman who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her. She's stuck because she was an actress who became a real princess, who wants to be an actress again, but has to continue to pretend to be a real princess.
You don't like her, it's not your fault. It's because she's extremely unlikable. She has the non-it factor.
As for Harry, his public statements haven't helped their case. I don't know how much longer my father has, he said in one interview, referencing King Charles. Then he complained about not receiving royal security for his family, despite stepping away from royal duties.
I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. I would love reconciliation with my family. I've always, there's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious.
Harry comes out and gives this interview in which he not only says he doesn't know how long the king has left to live, which the royal family was like, hey, let's not talk about the king's mortality because you don't know, specifically because the king has refused to speak to you since February 2024. Now that is over a year ago.
If you are trying to reconcile with your family, if you are trying to make amends, you don't go on TV and blame them again. This is literally the last thing.
Meghan wanted the fairy tale, but when the reality didn't match, she turned it into content. And yet, her past still clings. Long before the tiaras and tabloids, there were whispers, yacht girl rumors, speculation about ties to billionaires, alleged appearances at parties hosted by Epstein and Prince Andrew.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow.
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
As author Kirby Sommers suggested, that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament. She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
These claims have circulated online for years, heavily disputed and often debunked. But the internet doesn't need proof, it just needs a narrative. Then came the infamous vision board. A friend of her ex-husband claimed Meghan made a collage that included Prince Harry long before she ever met him.
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
She denies knowing much about the royals, but her blog posts say otherwise. She wrote about Kate Middleton, admired Diana. She knew. She always knew.
The Brits are onto you. America's onto you. The world at large is onto you. You're never going to convince anyone that you're authentic.
To her critics, this isn't coincidence. It's strategy. A long-term climb dressed up as destiny. And in the end, Meghan Markle isn't just a former actress or royal escapee. She's a symbol of media manipulation, of self-branding, of what happens when personal ambition meets global attention. She's stuck. No longer royal, not quite a celebrity. Trapped between titles and headlines, between past scandals and future rebrands. And as the polls turn, the lawsuits pile up, and the rebrands flop, one thing becomes clear. This isn't a comeback story. It's the unraveling of the Duchess of Drama.